live now. So we shall start with Mangalacharan as always, and then we shall continue the series. Haribol. Let's do the Mangalacharan and then we will resume. Ajnanatinirandasya Jnana-Jana-Shalakaya Chakshuranmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manomishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurun Shri Yudapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatha Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadhvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakha Vitamscha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Jandu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Karmami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pachat Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gurudev Maharaj ki jai, Bhaktavrinda ki jai, jai jai Shri Radhe Shyam. Hare Krishna. So today we will hopefully summarize and complete the whole series of Discover Yourselves. And Adi, I just got your message. And this time you have sent message to everyone, because usually you send message to me only, which is great. But you say YouTube is working better than Zoom. Oh, right. Okay, possible. Thank you so much. Which is great. You are at both places, Zoom and YouTube. Hare Krishna. Feel free. And maybe that's the reason sometimes devotees, they go on YouTube. Another benefit of YouTube, which sometimes I also do, especially when I'm working, I'm in office time, and there is a Zoom meeting, a lecture is going on, Guru Maharaj is there. And sometimes if you're on Zoom and if you need to pick the office call or if you need to do the office work, then in Zoom you cannot stop. But on YouTube, even if it's live, you just click it once and you can stop the session. And then your call is done, your office work is done, and whenever you want to resume back, you can resume in YouTube. So that's one reason I know YouTube is much better than Zoom. And of course, if it's a YouTube live, which is out, then we can also ask questions there as well. Hare Krishna. Haribol. Mataji, you got your hands up?
Yes. I sort of, how do you join YouTube? Because is there a different link, or do we just, I don't know how, I've never joined YouTube.
Okay, all right, Mataji. I will share the link here. I've shared the
Okay,
link
okay,
yes. But
okay. All right.
even if you are in the meeting, any meeting, if you are in, right on the top in Zoom, there is a little icon. If you click on it, or maybe, which I don't see, but hopefully you will see, it says live. And if you click on that, it says live streaming on YouTube. If you click on that, hopefully it will open YouTube for you automatically.
Okay, okay. All right. Okay. Thank
In
you. Hare
that sense,
Krishna.
yes, it's really nice. It's
Okay,
it's
okay.
good.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you.
And of course, the other part is that on Zoom you know who is there, and on YouTube nobody knows that you're watching. Now there are ways of find out, but usually people don't go into that detail. But yes, yeah, there are benefits. So thank you, Adi. Thank you for that tip. And you said I meant the voice. Voice is better in YouTube. Possible? It's quite possible. So thank you so much. All right, let's go on. So discover yourself. What we have been, and Adi been here with us since the beginning, and we are really missing Krishna Chaitanya, who has always been there. But Krishna Chaitanya is on holiday. There are few people who are on holiday. Krishna Chaitanya should come back, I guess, because the schools are opening next week or coming week from tomorrow. So hopefully Krishna Chaitanya and others will come back as well soon, because we are starting. We have started the school time now. What will we been discussing? So we said that that's where we left last time, and this is where we will start now. Importance of human life, and this is very important. Why? Because Adi is a human and I am a human. So we need to know why our human life is important. What's the difference between human life and animal life? We have seen it in the past. So we say that ability for higher inquiry, right? We can inquire, and we do it, but dogs, cats, animals, they can't do it. They can't really think a lot about it, but we can do it. Ability of expressing bliss. Now again, this is a bliss, spiritual bliss, not the material happiness. And again, animals, they cannot feel that, but we can feel that being humans. So this is a blessing. And then ability to make choice. Now we have the choice whether we want to make those higher inquiry or not. Now higher inquiry could be like what Adi said, who is God? Is God Krishna or God someone else? Or is this my material body? Am I material body or am I a spirit soul? And all these, if you think about, we can do it, but others cannot do it. Right? And then the last one we say determinations. Now, this is one of those things we have determinations that we want to make choice, and we want to make choice to inquire for higher inquiry. The purpose is very, very spiritual, not the material one. And the process is also there. And what is the process? So we have A, B, C, D there, and A stands for association. So association of devotees, that's must. That's must. I attended a meeting. I was in few minutes back, and that's from my spiritual master, my Guruji. And Guru Maharaj was there, and there were like 400 devotees all around the world. And different devotees was sharing their own they were sharing their own realizations, right? Adi, do you understand what association is? No? It's like when you come along and you meet someone. So when you are there with your friends, you are associated with your friends. So we say the shirt Adi is wearing, that's Adi's shirt. So Adi and Adi's shirt, they are associated with each other, right? It's really good when we learn Srila Prabhupadaji's purpose, our English improves a lot. And you need English for your 11 plus. So even in 11 plus, the Bhagavad Gita teachings are very useful. So association of devotees means that we need to be with devotees. And Shivani is also there. Hare Krishna. So what we're saying that A for association, we need to be with devotees, right? So whatever we do, we should try to be with devotees. We should hear from devotees. We should speak to devotees as much as possible. And then when we are in association with devotees, what we will do? We will do what it says, bhakti yoga. We should go to the temple, or the devotees who are there in the temple, invite them at our home. And if no, make our home as the temple. So rather than you living, you have a small temple in your home is a temple, and then you will feel like that you're living in the temple. Right? And this is something me and Shivani were discussing at the day, right? And this is what Krishna says: I stay in the heart of yogis. So Adi and Shivani, you pray to Krishna. When you pray to Krishna, Krishna comes. Krishna is always there in our heart, but we don't realize it. It's like we have $10 in our pocket, but we don't realize it. But we need to realize it. How do we realize? We realize when we are in the association of devotees. Devotees teach us. For example, we learn how to play guitar, we learn how to dance, and we learn it with the help of teacher, right? So teachers are really, really helpful. But where that teaching, the teaching comes from outside, but that ability to learn is inside us, right? We play guitar. We only get the knowledge from outside, but the guitar practice comes from inside. We do it, we involve it. And that's why it's a temple is like a university where we learn things, right? It's like a gym where we exercise. So we are small, but we might have seen that the adults, they go to gym. When they go to gym, what do? They make muscles, right? And what do they do to make muscles? They do something again and again, and they decide. And that's where our habits also there. So Shivani will say, okay, if I want to take good care of my eyes, I will not watch longer than that. Adi will say, okay, if I want to study hard, if I want to get even better in chess, I will practice more. And that's why it is. We exercise on which muscles we need to go. And temple is also like a hospital, because when we go to the hospital, we whatever defects we have, something wrong with us goes away. And when we go to the temple, then all the bad things in us is slowly, gradually goes away. And that's why we associate with teachers, we associate with doctors, in the university teachers, in the hospital doctors, in the temple, we associate with the devotees. Sometimes they act as doctors, sometimes they act as teachers. And that's why it says Jnana to Vijnana. Jnana is a knowledge and Vijnana is science, right? And this is how we understand. This is how, and this is, let's spend a bit more time on it. Now, how to associate. This is a very, very important. Remember, the whole Bhagavad Gita could be summarized in this A, B, C, D, and the whole series of Discover Yourself could be summarized in this A, B, C, D. So the first one, how to associate. Discuss Krishna Katha. So whenever we listen, we want to listen music, let's listen Krishna music. If you want to watch something, let's try to watch Krishna movies. We want to read the book, let's read Bhagavatam. So whatever we do, whichever way we need to discuss something, try as much possible to do Krishna Katha, stories about Krishna, like Adi watches Little Krishna. Shivani is going to attend Bhagavatam course very soon. So there are so many different options available for us. And it says it develops relationships. So Adi will speak to his friends. What about what? About chess. So then chess will also improve, and the relationship with your friend will also improve. If you have friends who don't have the common habits, right? If you think about, you have a friend who doesn't have common habit, then usually we don't get along with those friends very often. Why? Because we go there, we want to do something and they want to do something else. But at the same time, we have friends with a common interest. Those friends, they stay with us for long, right? And that's where we say that develop relationship. And it says, this is coming from Nectar of Instruction. Dadati pratigannati guhyam makhyati prachati bhongte bhajate cheva shad vidhim priti lakshanam. So this is Sanskrit, which says share with him. So six, these are six systems of love shared by one devotee and another. So what are these? Gifts. So when two devotees meet, we exchange gifts. Now, what kind of gifts? Gifts. So another devotee just came to our house, and they went to Birmingham temple, and they got some prasad for us. And when they come to us, we also had some prasad from Vrindavan, because another friend had recently visited Vrindavan. So we shared those. So what did we share? We shared prasad with each other. Accept charitable gifts. So we give gifts, we offer gifts, we take gifts, revealing one's mind. So if you want to share anything, let's share what's in our mind. And hopefully Krishna is there in our mind. If Krishna is in our mind, whatever Shivani is going to discuss will be hopefully about Krishna and Radha. Like Aryan was asking a question about Mahavishnu. So when we read about Krishna, all our questions will be about Krishna. All right? Inquire confidentially, accepting prasadam and offering prasadam. So charity, prasadam gives our mind with devotees. If you think of those things, then it says that this is how our association is going to get stronger and stronger. We are going to be very compassionate. We will develop friendship, and we will learn from their experiences, right? So Adi can learn chess whichever way he wants, but when he plays with others, when Adi plays chess with his friends who are better than him, he learned from their moves. Is that right, Adi? If you play with great chess players, you say, even if you will lose, you have still learned something. You say, that move I didn't know. Next time I'm going to use that move as well. Yeah. And that's how it works out. So if you go for it, the next one it says B, and B is books. So the process is books. Now Adi is great. Adi reads, Shivani reads, Aryan reads, and Krishna Chaitanya is not here with us at the moment, but he loves reading. Tanmay loves reading books, and Devesh and Devika, who are not here, they love reading books as well. But what kind of books? Now our acharyas, they have written lots of books. Like the example we saw, Nectar of Instruction. We should learn from those Krishna conscious books. See, they're little devotees. Oh, so cute, isn't it? He's as cute as Adi and Shivani. Imagine if you are reading. Next time you're reading Bhagavad Gita, ask your parents to take a picture. Next time we do the course, I will put your picture there, right? Imagine Adi, next time it will be you. Your picture will be here, right? Reading Bhagavad Gita. And what it says, one who is sufficiently intelligent should practice the activities of devotional service from the tender age of childhood. Means we don't need to wait until we grow up. We start reading now. And we do read. One of the things it says in 11 plus exams, and I asked my sons who is in secondary that how to improve the anything, but especially the language. Now English, Latin, French, and they say just ask your son to read. So to improve any language, the one thing you need to do is to read. More we read, better we get. So we need to read books, and there are many recommendations there. Now the third one is chanting. A for association, B for books, and C for chanting. So we always do the chanting, and then chanting the Mahamantra is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare Krishna. And we are so lucky to have Adi and even Shivani, because both of you have such a higher taste for chanting. Chaitanya Mahaprabhuji said that whoever has the taste for chanting, especially at young age as you are very blessed. But those who are associated with you, they are even more blessed. So I feel very blessed because I'm in association of Adi, Shivani, Krishna Chaitanya, Tanmay, Ishan. I'm so blessed to be in your association. So we should always take time to chant. as much as we can. We should always chant, because we have discussed that there are different yogic paths. Now, for different ages, there are different paths, and we are in Kali Yuga. So Satyug, Treta, Dwapar, and now Kali Yuga. Did I say right? Wow, Satyug, Dwapar, Treta, and Kali Yuga. We are in Kali Yuga, and in Kali Yuga, the best option available is chant. And what could be easier than that? In Satyug, people used to meditate. Oh, for that long. We can't do that. No, we can't bear that pain. Could we? We cannot control our senses to go hungry for that long, anyways. We cannot sit for that long. But in Treta, performing expensive sacrifices used to happen. In Dwapar, elaborate temple worship. Kings used to be so, like at the time of Maharaj Parikshit as well, so much. But we can't do any of them. Sacrifices is out of us, because Vedic hymns we cannot pronounce. Dwapar, we don't have enough money the way it used to be. We still take part in temple worship, which is still good. At the same time, we still do sacrifices and we still do meditation, but not these kind of what used to be famous and recommended. We are in Kali Yuga, the present age. So what we should do? Chant Hare Krishna, Mahamantra. And then it says there are so many scriptural reference for the chanting. And we could see it's not only from Vedic, it's from other religions as well. So what Christianity says, Christ. But anybody would like to read it? Okay, Shivani, you raise your hand. Adi, be ready. You could read the next one, yeah?
Christ glorified the Lord's holy name by saying, O Father, who art in heaven, hallowed by thy name.
Thank you. Haribol. Yes. So this is what Christ glorified, the Lord's holy name. So that's what we need to remember. It's not only in Vedic, even in Christianity, other religions, they also mention the significance of taking the chanting. Hare Krishna, Adi. Yes, please. Adi got a question.
No, I wanted to read the next slide.
Oh, please. Yes. Here we go.
Guru Nanak praised in the ambroid hours of the morning. I meditate on the grace of the true name.
Yes. Thank you so much, Adi. Yes, this is what it is. But take the name of the Lord, the name of, this is the way we do chanting. Right. Shivani, would you like to read that?
Muslims repeatedly chant the sacred name of God, Allah.
Revolve. Thank you. Yes, sacred name of Allah. So even in Islam, in Buddhist, Adi, would you like to read this, please?
Buddhists also praise repetition of the name of Lord Buddha, Namu Astam Buddha.
Haribol. Thank you so much. So yeah, even Buddhists, when they chant, they also take Namo Amida Butsu, and they keep chanting. So this is their mantra. So now if you think about it, all of them, they do it. And then it also recommends repetition of the holy name of the Lord in the form of mantra. And that's the reason C is for chanting. And if we don't do already, we should. And if we don't do at all, we should at least do one round in the morning, one round in the evening. So our mornings are auspicious. Then at the end of the day, so in the morning, we pray to Krishna. Thank you, Krishna. Hopefully, you will stay with me. Our consciousness will be clean, and we will be Krishna conscious whole day. And then right at the end of the day, we say, thank you, Krishna. You've been there with me whole day. Thank you for keeping me in Krishna conscious. Right? And that's how we go along with it. So always remember that in the age of Kali, we are supposed to do the chanting. Now, for the chanting, there are many different verses which says that why chanting is so great. Shivani, would you like to read this, please?
Yes. My dear king, although Kaliya Yuga is full of faults, there is still one good quality about this age. It is simply that chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, only one can become free from material bondage and be promoted to the transcendental kingdom.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Yes. So simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, one can become free from material bondage. Now, what is material bondage? We have so many material bondages. We think we are this, we are that. And if we clear 11 plus, then we say, oh, I worked so hard. And that's material bondage. The ego we develop, that's material bondage, right? This is Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 12, verse 3. Sorry, Canto 12, chapter 3, verse 51. This is a very famous verse. And if you attend one of those Bhagavatam sessions where you learn the shlokas, then you learn this as well. And then the next one, and this is very famous as well. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Kevalam, Kalau Naste, Va Nashte, Va Nashte, Va Gate Anyata. Like, oh, right. Adi, would you like to read this, please? Adi, would you like to read this? Adi is thinking. Right.
Maybe he's trying to unmute.
Yeah, possible. And we can see Tanmay is here. Hare Krishna.
What did you say?
We were missing. Adi, I was saying, would you like to read what it says on
Yes, I was just watching YouTube of you, so I couldn't hear you actually saying.
Okay, yes, I remember you did mention. Okay, yes, please.
In this age of quarrel and hyperosity, the only means of deliverance is chanting of the holy name of the Lord. There is none other way. There's no other way. Then no other way. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Namasya Kilvahnam Kalau Na Eva Nasa Evam Kasa Anastaya.
Haribol. Thank you so much, Adi. And that's the reason I was saying I feel so blessed to be in your association because you give your best. And it's not that easy to read, especially there are some Sanskrit. This is actually Sanskrit written in English, but you give a great attempt. Thank you so much, Adi. So in this age of Kali, it says, so when we say age of Kali, what does that mean? Age of quarrel and hypocrisy. Now, quarrel is where people fight. You will see most of the people, they keep fighting, right? If people don't fight with others, they fight with just themselves. How? So in my mind, I might be thinking, shall I do this? Shall I do that? Oh, what shall I do? Why? Because of choices. I do have the option of making choices, but I'm always confused. Why? Because I live in Kali Yuga. And then hypocrisy. From inside, I'm thinking something, but from outside, I'm saying something else, right? And this is called hypocrisy. So this is the age of Kali, and what we can expect here. But the only solution is if we do japa, if we do the chanting. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. So if we chant, and you can see how the person is so serene. And if you have not already tried it, take one bead, or if you don't have the bead, maybe on the counter, on your fingers, whichever way, just chant. And this is such a simple 16 words mantra that any way you want. So you could just sit, close your eyes, focus on what you are saying, and then you can chant. You could be waiting at your dentist. If you reached early, you can just close your eyes. If you don't want to go loud to disturb others, you can just close your eyes and chant. Maybe you're at airport waiting for the next flight, and you could just close your eyes and chant. You could have your eyes open. If you're just alone, you think somebody might take away your luggage, you can have your eyes open and you can chant, right? It's so easy. But again, as we said, association, if we chant together with others, that's even better. And you see, you can chant in the family, and the benefits are that we don't do these bad things. We don't do bad things. All the bad things, slowly, you will see, it will say freedom from the reaction of sins. We will not get the sins. Why? Because when we chant, our consciousness will improve. It's a kind of meditation. It says it's mantra meditation, right? And meditation is really, really, really good for health. Now it says relief. Sorry. Yes, Shivani, please.
What's no gambling?
Ah, great. So what is gambling? Do you know what gambling is?
I know what it is.
Okay, Adi, please go on.
It's when you spend money for a game.
Okay. Yes. So the gambling could be where you're trying your luck for the money. So you go, and there are different places where you could gamble, and children are not allowed there because it's not a nice thing to do, and it's full of stress. It's full of anxiety. Why? Because while you're gambling, you become anxious. Well, what is gambling, as Shivani said? So like what you could see the cards here, right? So sometimes people play with the cards, and there are different types of gambling. Some people do the gambling on horses. So where we live, there's a race course here, and once in a year, one of the biggest the horse betting happen, and that's a gambling. So what happens? Let's say 10 horses are running, and you will just say, okay, I will put 10 pound on horse number 4. If the horse number 4 will win, then you put 10 pound and you will get maybe 1,000 pounds or 100 pounds, and you will say, wow. So you got this extra money for doing nothing, right? You didn't do any work, and your consciousness is just that you want to win over. And that's the reason gambling is not suggested. Yes, please, Shiva.
What is intoxications?
Intoxications, yes. Intoxication is when we drink alcohol. It says intoxi. Toxi is something bad for health. So toxic could be the things we use to wash our house, bleach we call it, or even the general soap we call it. It's not supposed to be inhaled. But alcohol, people drink beer, whiskey. These things are not supposed to be taken by devotees, because when we take we lose the consciousness. We lose the capability of making decisions, right? A lot of time you will see people are very educated, but when they drink a lot, they just fall down. So when I was in the university students, they were very clever, very smart, but they used to drink so much that they just used to fall down on the street, and they don't know anything about it. Like next morning, if you ask them, they don't even know what time they came home and what happened. So those things which make you lose your consciousness, your wisdom, knowledge, that's what we call intoxications. And there could be many. Yes, Shivani.
That was my same question, but I also have another question. What's the one next to the intoxications? No illegal relationship.
Okay, no illicit relationship. So what this says is, so okay, first is no meat eating, that's being vegetarian. Second is no gambling, so not putting any money and just try to get a lot of money for doing no work. We are supposed to do work and then try to get it. And it's actually because of the gambling, cheating also happens. So that's the reason we don't want to do it. People try to get more. And intoxication we have talked about, which is alcohol, because we lose the consciousness. Now, in no illicit relationship is that before marriage, boy and girl don't stay together, right? And that's what we call illicit. Illicit is like something which is not allowed. Now, in some countries it's allowed, in some countries it's not allowed. But because we are devotees, we follow the rules and regulations given by this. This is actually coming from Bhagavatam. So Krishna gave this knowledge that we should not before. So that's why you will see mother and father, they get married and then they live together. But boy and girl, they don't live together and they should not live together, right? And that's why it is. So we should not have those kind of relationships which are not, it says, so it says illicit. So they're not allowed kind of relationships. Okay. And we, being devotees, we take care of those things. And it says, if we do that, then it cleans our hearts, right? We follow the regulations. Why do we follow the regulations? We always follow rules and regulations everywhere. Thank you, Adi. And because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ji said, okay, Adi. Oh yeah, who would like to read this, please? I know Tanmay is also here. Okay, Shivani has raised hand. Okay, while Tanmay is going to unmute. Okay, Shivani, go on, please.
Glory to Sri Krishna Sankirtana, which cleanliness the heart of all glory, the dust accumulate for ear and exucings the fire of conductional life and repeated birth and death.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. And thank you, Tanmay. I heard your voice. So maybe the next one you could read. Okay, thank you. So it says, glory to Haribol. Glory to Shri Krishna Sankirtana, which is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ji started, which cleans the heart of all the dust accumulated. So the dust accumulated is like gather for years. So because we keep doing the bad thing, we have been lying, we have been making our heart dirty, we try to cheat others. So that's what it means by accumulating for dirt for years. And extinguishes the fire. Extinguishes is when we put, if the fire is there, we want to stop the fire. Yeah, we say cease fire. We want to stop the fire. So extinguishes is stopping the fire of conditioned soul. What? So the conditioned life. So the soul is open, but when soul comes in the touch of material mode, so the soul is there, but the body is material. Body is made up of goodness, passion, ignorance. And that's where we say conditioned. We are conditioned to think of something. For example, somebody is born in Indian family, and if they speak Hindi, the child automatically will speak Hindi and automatically will like what the parents like. And this is what we call conditioning, right? So based on what an environment we are, we automatically start doing, even without making the choice. And then it says repeated birth and death. So we keep doing this again and again and again and again. Now, do you feel heart is getting cleansed? This is after chanting. After chanting, we will definitely realize our heart is feeling cleansed. If not, then we need to speak to each other. We need to speak to the devotee that I've been chanting, but it's not making any difference. I still think that I should take that toy of my friend. Maybe that puppet, I had it with me. It's gone somewhere. So a lot of kids, they want puppet these days. Peace of mind. So these days, a lot of adults, they are very, very stressed. And that's another reason we say that when we chant, we become very, very, very calm, right? Okay, so we have those two. I hope they are big enough. Tanmay, would you like to read both of them, please, in English?
Yes.
Thank you.
For him who has conquered the mind is the best of friends. But for who has failed to do so, his mind will remain the greatest enemy. Bandhur atmanastasya yena tamevatmana jitaha anatmanastu satrutve vartetamameva satruva. One who is not connected with the Supreme in Kanaya consciousness can have neither transcendental intelligence nor steady mind, without which there is no possibility of peace. And how can there be any happiness without peace? Nasti buddhir ayuktasyana chayuktasya bhavana che bhavayata santre ashtantasya kritaha sukham.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Tanmay, and so good to hear from you that you also tried the Sanskrit as well there, which is great. The more we try, better we get. And there is no shortcut, and you tried it very nicely. And this is where we say peace of mind comes from chanting. And the next thing we say is faith in God comes from chanting as well. So while we are living, and this is another very nice, right? I will read this. Then it says, those who always worship me with exclusive devotion. Exclusive is like leaving everything behind, exclusive devotion, meditating on my transcendental form. To them, I carry what they lack and I preserve what they have. So Krishna promises these two things in Bhagavad Gita chapter 9, verse 22, that I carry, which means I give my devotees what they lack, means what they need. I give them, and I preserve what they have, like what they need. And if they already have it, I keep. But if they need something and they don't have it, I give it to them. What else devotees need? And that's why devotees have full faith in Krishna. Right? And it says this is while living, and this is after life. So Tesham. So this is another beautiful verse 10:10, and we learn this as well. So it says Tesham satata yuktana bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mamapayantite. It says to those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love. It says priti purvakam. So we need to. So if you think of it, Kansa, who wanted to kill Krishna, his uncle, right? Krishna was his, so Kansa was Krishna's maternal uncle. He wanted to kill Krishna. And he always used to think about Krishna. But devotees don't think of Krishna in that consciousness. Devotees think of Krishna with love. It's like how we think of our mother, right? With love. Our mother does so much for us. I give the understanding by which they can come to me. So Krishna says, I give them the understanding. If they are lost, I give them all the understanding so they can come back to me. Say, Sevan Mukhe Jeva. This is another beautiful verse. But what we are saying is the benefits of chanting, there are so many. Freedom from fear and anxiety, because devotees know that COVID cannot hurt the soul. COVID can only hurt the material body, and this material body is going to die sooner or later anyways. So why, like what Krishna says to Arjun, that Arjun, what are you crying for? Are you crying for these material bodies? Because they are going to go down anyways. Nobody could save them, right? And then another thing is spiritual credit. Now think of it. Whenever we do, you ask someone, why do you want to do engineering or medical? The person will say, because I will get a good degree, right? But what will happen in next birth? We have to start from A, B, C, D again. You have to do the engineering again. You have to do the accountancy again. You have to do all the degrees again. But spiritual credit remains. And how? We know Krishna says this. In this endeavor, in which endeavor? The spiritual endeavor. Endeavor is work. There is no loss or diminution. Like there is no loss, we don't lose anything, nothing goes down, and a little advancement. So means if try to understand, if we already did 5%, if we will do 6% or 8% or 10%, next birth we will start where we have left. So spiritual credit always stays with us. What does that mean? That means if we are reading Bhagavad Gita in this birth, even if we will not able to read Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, if we don't understand everything in one life, wherever we have left, next birth, we will get a birth in such a nice family that they are already learning Bhagavad Gita. So very soon, our parents will teach Bhagavad Gita. However, if in this birth we will not spend time reading Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, then maybe next birth we will get the birth in a family who doesn't read anything spiritual, and then everything will be delayed. And then whatever we have learned will come back to our mind very soon. So for example, Adi loves reciting, right? Even at a young age, Adi been together for a couple of years, I think now. And even a couple of years back, Adi wanted to do chanting. And Tanmay would like to do the chanting as well. Why? Because of the previous credit, and of course, because of the current parents' blessings. And this is another one. This is coming from Chaitanya Charitamrita, another scripture which says Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema. So this is Bengali, and this is pure love for Krishna is eternally established in the hearts of living entities. So we already have Krishna and love for Krishna, but in dormant form. Dormant form, you might have heard of yeast. Yeast is there. As soon as you put water and use the spoon, automatically starts. Hare Krishna. Adi says, I started chanting at the age of 3. Hari Bol. No surprise at all, Adi, because we know that you already have the taste for chanting. And this is what Krishna says, it's already there in our heart. If our parents, they just give us a little, the previous credit, the past lives always come. And it's very easy and effective way, right? If somebody will say, okay, go in the temple, go on the cave, go on top of mountain, it will be very hard for us. Do Ekadashi fast every day, very hard for us, right? But we can easily do, easily done. It says that whatever result was obtained in Satyug by meditating, in Treta by performing sacrifice, in Dwapar by serving the Lord feet, which is deity worship, can be obtained in Kalyug simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And this is given in the Shastras. So we are in Kalyug, and that's the reason what we need to do. We need to do the chanting. We need to chant. Kalir dosho nide rajan. And this is another beautiful, that in Kalyug is full of, as we said, Kalyug means that people deceive each other. People are always fighting here. It's the age of quarrel and hypocrisy, and people are full of faults. Our conscience is not pure. But when we chant the name of the Lord, slowly, gradually, it improves. And no qualification required. You don't have to be in Brahmin family. You don't need to be in a sacred place. You don't need to go to the temple to do it. If you go to the temple and do with the devotees, great. Well, what if because of COVID, we need to self-isolate? Well, wherever you are, you can chant. As we said, you are a dentist, you can chant. You are at the airport, you can chant. So we said A for association, B for book, C for chanting, and D is the diet. And this is what we say, Lord's Prasadam. If we take care of these 4 things, Hare Krishna, our consciousness will improve immensely.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
Wouldn't you say you can chant anywhere?
You can chant anywhere. Do you think of any
Can you
place?
Can you chant when you're sleeping?
Ah, okay. Well, you can chant. You can't chant, can you? When you are sleeping, because you have gone into, again, the way it says in consciousness, you could go into deep consciousness, what they say, deep sleep. So in Upanishads, there are 3 different types of levels of consciousness. We will ignore them. But sometimes what people do, they put the chanting while sleeping. So we have a little box, And Srila Prabhupadaji's voice is recorded there. And sometimes when the kids are sleeping, you put that. And you know, like these days, kids, they listen Alexa's stories. And similarly, we can have chanting. So just before we go to the bed, chanting is going on. And maybe Srila Prabhupadaji's voice chanting, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And you just hear it and you sleep. And that's how you might able to. And when you will see, you will get very nice dreams, because that's what your consciousness while you are sleeping. Very good question, Adi. Thank you for that question. Now we are saying the prashadam. Whatever we eat makes, and we always say, if we eat, okay, Adi just go. If we eat something hot, our body gets hot. If we eat something or drink something cold, our body gets cold. How that happens? Because our whatever we eat is going to make our body. That's the food for our body, and that food is for our consciousness as well. And it says, so this one, so past sinful reactions in the body vanquished. Like we did something past. I don't know, Avi. Sorry, I'm not sure how you got disconnected, but that was very quick. So maybe internet dropped and internet came back for you. And sometime it happens. It's okay. Everything is Krishna's plan. So how prashadam helps? Prashadam helps in clearing our consciousness. Because when we offer it to Krishna, we always say, thank you, Krishna, that you gave us some skills. We could go to the job, get the money, and we could buy the food. Thank you so much for that. And we make prashadam, we make it for Krishna as well. And that's how we remember that it's such a nice thing. And this is, it says, the devotees of the Lord are released from all kinds of sins because they eat food which is offered first for sacrifice, which means first for Krishna. Others who prepare food for personal sense enjoyment verily eat only sin. This is another verse from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 3, verse 13. It says, we should always offer food to Krishna, right? If we eat food, when we make food, we just make it for our own enjoyment, then it's like we are eating sin. So we should not. And any sin we have done in the past, that goes away because our consciousness is improving now, right? But that doesn't mean that we keep eating prashadam and keep doing the sins. No. If by mistake something happened, that prashadam will clear our consciousness. So it says, be a businessman. What does businessman do? It says theory to practical. Right? If you think about it, what businessmen do? You invest. And where will you invest? In this material body? We need to take good care of the body. But invest in your spiritual life. Because whatever we do spiritually will always stay with us, even in this birth and after the birth. Theory to practical. Now, of course, we can say a lot, chanting is good, but until unless we will do chanting, it's not going to help us. So we need to start chanting. If you haven't already done it, then let's start it from today. If you have already started doing chanting, then let's try to get our consciousness pure by focusing on what we chant and when we chant, right? Because this is, who started Krishna consciousness movement? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he was Krishna himself. So the Lord, he said in Bhagavad Gita, in Bhagavatam, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ji himself came as a devotee and started doing the chanting. So there are so many messages on chanting, so we should do the chanting. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ji said, so this is another one, Yare Dekha Tare Kaha Krishna Updesha. This is in Bengali as well. So whoever will see, we should give. So it's not like Prahlad Maharaj, what he used to do. He used to talk to his friends as well. So we should speak to everyone about Krishna, right? Because if we get benefit, we should tell others to do good. And Srila Prabhupada ji, of course, is one of those who reminded us, who gave us so many books to think of it. What did he say? He said, chant every day. Not a single day should go without chanting. And then follow 4 regulative principles. Now, if we are chanting, but we are not following those 4 regulative principles, then our chanting will not be effective, right? It's like if we want to lose some weight, right? But at the same time, we are also eating a lot of food. No, right? Let's say we are eating a lot of pizzas, we are drinking a lot of alcohol, or we are drinking a lot of Coke. It won't help. So follow 4 regulative principles. It will help us. And these 2 things will do the job. That's it. How easy. How easy. Vegetarian food, right? No gambling, no alcohol. Chant every day. Simple and easy and effective way. Wow. So easy. So easy. And again in Bhagavad Gita, different verses is being said. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam. So what does it say? Whatever state of being one remembers when he quits his body, or son of Kunti, that state he will attain without fail. So Bhagavad Gita 8.6, chapter 8, verse 6 says, when we leave this body, when we die, whatever we are thinking. So if you're thinking about video game, right? Then in next birth, you will become video game. Are these thinking, how will I become video game? Well, you will become video game in a sense that you will get a birth in such a family who love video games. But what will happen? Will you keep, okay, are these happy that I will get video games? Well, video games will not help you for long. No, it will not. Will you get a good job in video game? If you don't know how to cook food, how will you survive? So video game is very temporary. Well, of course, if it gives you joy for a while.
I have a question.
Yes, please, Adi.
How does the person not know how to cook food?
Oh, well, there are people like me. I don't know how to cook food. Do you know how to cook food, Adi?
Yes, my mom and dad are teaching me.
Oh, so blessed you are and so great your parents are. I must have been a very naughty boy, not as good as you. So my mother might have tried on me, but must have given up very quickly. But that's a really good thing that you're ready. You're already learning, because this will definitely help. Right? So what we're saying? What we're saying is that, are we ready? Are we ready? Of course, Adi is already ready. Tanmay is ready. Krishna Chaitanya is ready. Shivani is ready. We all should be ready. What the prize is? What the prize is? The joy of self-discovery, that eternal happiness. And when does it begin? It begins now, right? Just by chanting, nothing else, just by chanting. And of course, if you take care of those 4 regulative principles, then our consciousness will improve even further. But just chanting in this age of Kali will do the job, right? Great. Thank you so much to all of you for staying together for this journey of self-discovery. And that goes for everyone who is here in Zoom and who is there on YouTube. Thank you so much. We have gone through 24 lessons of this, the Journey of Self-Discovery series. Now we Hare Krishna. Tanmay, yes, please.
Can I read Hanuman Chalisa?
All right, sure. Let's go for Hanuman Chalisa.
Is it too late now?
It's okay. We did promise last time. I'm sure it won't take long, and it's always good to finish. So I know you did promise last time, but I also wanted to finish, because next time we will summarize chapter first 5 verses, and we will start Bhagavad Gita next session.
How are we doing it? Shall we share the screen?
Do you want to share this screen? If you remember, you could go for it.
It says only the host can share in this meeting.
Okay. Sorry. I will let me just stop this, and I will make you the co-host. Then you should be able to. Okay.
Yeah. Now I can share.
Yeah.
I'll just open it once.
Okay. For everyone, that Tanmay is going to recite. So, Tanmay, if you got it.
already. The connections.
All right. Okay. Sorry. Is it good
I'll
now?
try.
Okay. Sure.
I'm just thinks it's just load. Yeah. So
yeah.
I'll share my screen.
Yes.
Stop broadcast.
Okay. So for everyone, Tanmay is going to recite Hanuman Chalisa. Here we go. We can see your screen now. Yes, we can see.
So shall I just sing a line at a time, then you repeat it, or?
Maybe it's good if you go in one go, because I think in one go it will, because the lyrics will come along with you as well. So I will put myself on mute, and it's over to you. You can start till end. You can go in one go. It's beautiful, Hanuman Chalisa. So I'm sure you will do a great justice. Okay, Tanmay, over to you, please.
Okay. Shri Guru Charana Saroj Raj Nij Manu Mukur Sodari Baranu Raghubar Bimal Jashu Jodhyayak Falchari Buddhihin Tanu Janki Sumero Pavan Kumara Bal Buddhi Vidya Dehu Mohi Harahu Kalesha Vikara Jai Hanuman Gyan Gun Sagar Jai Kabir Tihu Lok Ujagar Ram Dood Atulit Baldama Anjani Putra Pavan Sutanama Mahavir Vikram Bajrang Sumat Ke Sangi Kanchan Varan Viraj Subesha Kanan Kundal Kunchit Kesha Hat Vajra Aur Dhwaja Viraje Kande Moj Jane Ho Saje Shankar Suvan Kesari Nandan Tej Pratap Mahajagvandan Vidyavan Guni Ati Chatur Ram Kaj Karbe Ko Atur Prabhu Charitra Sunave Ko Rasiya Ram Lakhan Sita Man Basiya Sukshma Roop Dhari Siya Hi Dikhava Vikat Roop Dhari Lank Jalava Bhim Roop Dhari Asur Sanghare Ramchandra Ke Kaaj Savare लाए सजीवन लखन जियाए श्री रघुवीर हर्ष उर लाए रघुपति कीनी बहुत बड़ाई तुम मम प्रिय भरत संभाई सहस बदन तुमरो यश गावे हस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावे संकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीषा नारद सारद सहित अहिसा यम कुबेर दिखवार जाते कवि कोविद कहि सके कान्ते तुम उपकार सुग्रीव कीनी राम मिलाए राजपद दीन तुमरो मंत्र विभीषण माना लंकेश्वर वह सब जग जाना योग सहस्त्र जो जन पर भानु लील्योताई मधुर फल जानु प्रभु मुद्रिका मेरी मुख माई जला दिलांग गए अक्षरज नाई दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते सुगम अनुग्रह तुम रे ते राम दवारे तुम रखवारे, होठ न आज्ञा बिनु पहसारे, सब सुख लहे तुम्हारी ही शरणा, तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना, आपन तेज समारो आपे, तीनों लोक हाकते कापे, भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे, महावीर जब नाम सुनावे, नासे रोग हरे सब पीरा, जपत निरंतर हनुमत बीरा, संकट से हनुमान छुड़ावे, मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावे, सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा, इनके काज सकल तुम साजा, और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे, सोए अमित जीवन फल पावे, चारों जुग प्रताप तुम्हारा, है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा, साधु संत के तुम रखवारे, असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे, अष्ट सिद्धि नौ निधि के दाता, असवर दीन जानकी माता, राम रसायन तुम्हारे वासा, सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा, तुमरो भजन राम को पावे, जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे, अंत काल रघुवर पुर जाए, जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त खाई, और देवता चेत न धरहि, हनुमत से ही सर्व सुख करहि, संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा, जो सुमरे हनुमत बलबीरा, जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई, कृपा करो गुरुदेव की नाई, जो सतवार पाठ कर खोई, छूटे बंदी महासुख होई, जो ये पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा, होए सिद्ध साकी गौरी सा, तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा, कीजे नाथ हृदय मोह डेरा, कीजे नाथ हृदय मोह डेरा, पवन तनय संकट हरण, मंगल मूर्ति रूप, राम लखन सीता सहित, हृदय बसहु सुरभूप।
हनुमान की जय, राम लक्ष्मण सीता हनुमान की जय, जय श्री राधे श्याम। Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Tanmay. That was
Can
beautiful.
I sing Hare Krishna Mara Mantra?
Hari Bol. Sure. Adi, go on.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Adi. Thank you so much, Tanmay. Thank you so much, Shivani. So good to have you. I'm looking forward for your association next week as well. And this is such a beautiful way of ending. Thank you so much, Tanmay. That was very nice. After a long time, I heard Hanuman Chalisa from a child like you. Otherwise, usually adults do it. So great to have you all. And now, going forward, what we're going to do, that as we said, we have completed, or we had completed 5 chapters of from Bhagavad Gita before we started the journey of Discover Yourself. This series, we have finished 24 sessions. They are there on YouTube if in case you would like to catch up. What we will do going forward, that we are going to recap. In the next session, we will recap first 5 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, and then we will start chapter 6, and then we'll go through details discussing many other things. Okay, great. Thank you so much. With that, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gurudev Maharaj ki jai. Jai Jai Shri Radhe Shyam. Thank you, Adi. Thank you, Tanmay. Thank you, Shivani. Thank you, Haripriya Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Take care and see you next week at 6 Sunday evening. Hare